Hello, I just woke up. This is my third time filming this video, but it is an important one. This is part of a larger video series in which every year I like to do a recap of everything I wore, everything I thought about, all of the things I watched. Recap it for, I don't know, my sake, to see the progression. I think I'm gonna unprivate this one, maybe unprivate the rest. But yeah, this is me at 26. First things first, the face, the visage. I have this adorable makeup kit that, believe it or not, I made it myself out of a Muji business card case. It's just kind of got everything you would ever want. Brow cake, setting powder. I've got a little rouge in there. There used to be sparkly eyeshadow there, but I had to take it out because I ran out and I need to put in more. Anyways, way too much information for people who don't care. The other two things I should mention are these two eyeshadow palettes that I got from Nihon. You know, just every color you would want. Eyeliner, a little blue for a more edgy thing. What am I even saying? I'm still waking up. So the makeup routine. We've got this guy, and then I just like to do like a very slight little swipe of glitter over the eyes. Why do people whisper when they do this? This thing, put it on the lips, and of course the residue on the cheeks. We're losing light already, folks. The setting powder, obviously T-Zone. Also really nice for the bangs. They get oily, they separate, just This is not a very indicative hairstyle, actually, because 26 is the year that I had bangs for all of it. Right now they're clipped back because they're really oily. Hairstyles, nothing crazy. We've got the pigtails, we've got twist in the back, we've got the high pony. Most days it's this sort of like uncombed mess. In terms of accessories, these two bangles have not left my wrists. The rings are very important. I don't know where my watch and my mom's silver bracelet went. Insert picture here if I ever find it. I was gonna say that this ring I've had for longer than I expected to beat the life expectancy. Got it in Berlin in 2022. It's like small, it's precious to me. Exact type of object I would have lost by now. Alas, this one Serena gave to me this year. Yes, iconic one that I got in Austria. Part of the plastic snapped off, so I have put tape on there. It's a suspect kind of fix. There is one thing to mention. My new perfume is actually not a perfume, as you can see right there. People love it, people hate it. 호불호가 갈리는 향이죠. It smells like graphite. It's like lazy Sunday mornings, longer lasting, slightly more pencil-y older sister from America. That's it for that. Clothing. This portion of the video always takes me so long to film. I don't know, I've always been a little bit of a fashionista. It seems like increasingly I feel like I'm more intentional with the things I buy, of course, do incorporate trends. I am a product of the culture in which we live. Another thing to note, as you'll see, there's a lot of things that I have kept over the years, whereas like in my older videos, you just see me wearing new clothes every year. But now there's just a through line, and with that, I've been wearing clothes that I've had since I was like in 3rd grade, and there's like, I don't know, like if I had to like psychoanalyze it, I think I view my life in quite segmented ways just because I moved around so much. I do have trouble contextualizing my life in terms of like this larger picture, and that is important to have insights about myself. Oh, I feel like wearing my old clothes is this like way to like connect me back to like when I was living in Korea. But yeah, generally the style, it's, you know, it's guanco, it's spezzatura, it's this chic French. It's the chic French girl, like, I don't know, I don't care, I just like put it on and it just looks really good, you know, I just, vibe. Is there anything else to note? I'm including some things that I don't think I've even put in past videos just because I wear it so much. There's also this shirt, but it's way too dirty to wear right now. But I'm gonna give you an earphone actually.
I must have been so stupid, I must have been so out of touch. He must have been so clever, convincing me that this was really love. Desperate for words, lost in a maze, it fell apart. I lost my place, it hurt so bad. I cried for
Angelo, can you transport me? Angelo, can you transport me?
We can feel its magical light. Siren voices drift out of key. Never know if love will remain.
Exotic Singapore became a republic, IT, which stood for Suspected Hippie.
Can you be my Superman? Can you be my Superman?
Books, first one is Amygdalopolis. Probably one of the first books in a while that I physically bought because I could not find a single copy of it online anywhere to send to my Kindle. It's this like techno thriller. I'm just trying to use buzzwords. I don't really know how to describe it. Told through these, 4chan-esque forums, portraying these netizens getting lost in the forum, and there's like this whole nihilist Nietzschean lens. It has been a while since I read it, so it's kind of difficult to remember what I liked about it, but I do remember liking it. The next one is In Praise of Shadows, which I honestly can't believe I had only read the last year, because it feels like a book that I really took to and I have really incorporated into my value system, if you will. But yeah, it's it's so hard to like think right now because I've been talking for hours. Japanese book written in like the 1910s or something, and it's this guy Junichi something, kind of bemoaning modernization and especially the Western way of it and the Western way of doing a lot of things. And it's called In Praise of Shadows because the Japanese ideal of beauty appreciates darkness and more demure, in the truest sense, aesthetics. It's it's like this general Japanese appreciation for the real. Last one, and I'm gonna keep it short. I Am a Strange Loop, which is Bach, Escher, blah blah blah, for dummies. And even this version of Douglas Hofstadter's book was still a little dense for me, but it was really illuminating in that it kind of taught me that this idea of a self is a bit fraught. And it's especially interesting or pertinent that I'm talking about it in this video series because this whole thing is about the self. And I look back on these videos and I do kind of agree with his thesis that the self and the popular imagination's conception of it is it's not accurate. I shut up about this book now. Guys, I have not been watching much. Or maybe things they don't touch me in the way they used to. But that being said, Monster, I came into it knowing nothing about it. I think it was like very intentional, but I thought it was a horror movie. Like, I loved Hoodwinked as a kid, and it really did scratch this Rashomon itch. So I fell into this like rabbit hole of watching movies with this same effect, but it was not as satisfying as Monster or even Hoodwinked. The other one, and it's like I can hear the boos coming already. It's this 1960s Hungarian experimental animated film. I know. Boo. Yeah, I did actually really enjoy it. Hungarian cinema. Okay, and here come the boos again. Hungarian cinema, not something I've explored a lot, but something I would like to. I remember I watched Taxidermia with my housemate a few years ago, and it really blew my mind. But yeah, Bubble Bath, it's really fun. It's a cute story. It's just like, because the animation style changes so quickly, great for, brain rot brains. Last movie, Anatomy of a Fall. It really stayed with me for a while. There is this added element of the fact that it was filmed partly in Grenoble, which, if you've talked to me for more than 15 minutes, you will know I studied abroad there in 2017. It was like nice to see the mountains and, this place that I obviously have a deep affection for. And yeah, Hot Lawyer. I just have one, but it did influence me quite a bit. It's called Captains of the World. I know how to pitch this show so quickly because I've told everyone I know about it. Essentially, FIFA produced it, so it's like, yeah, they're not going to talk about like the crimes against humanity that they committed, but like, I was about to say like whatever, but it just kind of like solidified this sort of seeping interest in football. I was really moved. Like, every episode I would tear up because, I don't know, it's like, I'm not gonna do the whole spiel, but like, in this increasingly atomized world where there's no shared sort of reality, I feel like football can really sort of bring people together. Obviously, there's like a lot of bad stuff associated with it. Okay, lessons and themes. There's just been this general feeling that I can just do things. And I think the catalyst was 2 years ago when I went to Europe, or I went to like Germany with Annie, and it was like such a random, slightly spontaneous trip. Like, I quit my job. I had no idea what I was going to do next, but I was like, you know what? This is what I want to do because I'm young. There was a part of me that felt like I'm not going to regret it because I'm only ever going to be this young once. And 3 years later, I don't regret it. It was like this aha moment where I was like, wait, there's nothing stopping me from doing kind of crazy things except myself. I can just do things. Another sort of like feeling, this phrase, money or freedom, was like reverberating in my head all throughout last year. I'm not working that much, but I'm also not making that much money, but that also means I have all of this free time. I don't know, this ties back to the next theme, which is kind of about when I went back to Korea, I knew that I wanted to move back to New York. So there was this sort of time constraint that I was working within. I wanted to spend more time with mom and dad and delve deeper into Seoul, so I went to a lot of museums, would go to these classes with mom every week to learn about Korean music history and cultural history. We went to like the Pansori Chukje together. But like little things like that is not something I could have done if I had this like stable 9-to-5 job. So it was this like money versus freedom, and it's like spending time with my mom in a limited time frame. Of course I'm gonna choose freedom. I was really into this idea of rituals. I remember in Korea I would wake up and have breakfast with mom and dad, and then I would work for a bit. We would have lunch, a late lunch together at 2, and I would have my decaf coffee in this Namibia mug, insert picture here. I loved just being able to have that freedom to go on these walks with mom and dad or go on these trips. And also this past year is I think the first year where I felt like old. There was like this clear distinction between me and like a 21-year-old in a large way, I think, because I was feeling less social. Like obviously, I can go into a social situation, I can banter, I can chit chat, but it was like that need to be in the party so much. Have this FOMO drive me. I mean, it does still compel me to go to these events that I probably didn't need to, but less so. I guess like with this feeling less social, there is this like feeling less. I was reading my old journals and I was like really impressed by how introspective I could be. Obviously like there is like kind of like a dark undershadow side to that. But ultimately I was like, oh my gosh, Hajin at 18 was like going out in the world and had all these thoughts, and like I think ultimately it's a good thing that I'm not overthinking as much, but there was like a part of me that was like almost mourning my teenage self, is how I wrote it. It's like these teenage feelings and inclinations that I just don't have anymore. Obviously this past year is the year I met some good friends, Melody, Serena, Danny. Yeah, those are also big moments. Okay. Hi, this is me even further into the future because it's taken me so long. It's May, which means I am 3 months away from being 28. Whoo! Try that on for size. Let's play this goddamn video. Here are my future hopes for 26. Hey Hajin, hope you had a good year. You look older. Number 1, journal more. Did I journal more? Also, I just cut my bangs. We're not gonna look at that part of my face. I did not journal very much. 2, I want to move to New York. Guys, we did it. Look at this. That's New York City, baby. The World Trade Center. I'm gonna be honest, I was really depressed when I was filming the main portion of this video in February, and it feels good to be on the other side of it and remember that I did move to New York and I fulfilled one of my goals. Being more organized so that I can scheme my plan back. I don't even know what this means, but you know what? I think I was more organized, at least 27 me was, but not so much 26. Throw away more stuff so my move back is not like absolutely awful and filled with stuff. Yes, I threw away a lot of stuff. It's so hard to like even remember who 26 Hajin was, because I've been 27 for so long and now I'm already looking towards 28. Guys, am I cooked? With the remaining time I have in Korea, I want to really make the most out of it. Number 1, I want to learn how to play Palduk. No. I want to do something with my grandpa's books. I'm not sure what. Nope. And then lastly, and most importantly, I want to finish the Sunday crossword puzzle by myself with no help. Okay, typo alert. Goal 4, or goal hour, as my dumb 28-year-old, 26, 25, whatever, 25. I was 26 when I filmed this too. I cannot do a Sunday. However, I'll do this one. I can do a Thursday by myself, and that's not nothing. Yeah, here's the goals section. My goals. I wrote these a while ago, so I don't even know if I still believe it, but here it is. I want to get to know mom and dad even better. Yeah, I don't know, especially that I'm living away from them. I feel like I need to be more intentional about calling them, and I don't know, like asking them questions that they wouldn't necessarily self-report. What is the word? Divulge? Whatever. There's also this feeling of, I keep telling people I'm a master of none, jack of all trades. So I want to marry my myriad of interests. I want everything to just sort of coalesce into like a coherent person. Big ask. I want to DJ more, and I want to try stand up in a real way. Get a steady stream of income. And you know, it's funny. I feel like every year I had this general sentiment of like, get my shit together, like figure out what you're gonna do with your life. But I'm really relinquishing this. I don't know. It doesn't feel so important anymore. I don't think it's something that I am capable of, to be honest. Like having a job in a consistent way, or in the traditional way, which is why I just haven't been able to do it or figure it out, and that's okay. Maybe I'm gonna regret this, but I think doing the freelance thing and kind of trying out different things, being a hajin for different companies rather than having a company absorb all of my time, is what works for me and is what makes me happy. Okay, well that the light changed so much throughout this entire thing. Yeah, that was 26. Yeah, I don't know. In the grand scheme of things, I don't know. I think 25 was a really great year. 26 was a bit of like figuring things out still. I've been 27 for almost 6 months now, and I think it's better. A lot of growth, a lot of realizations. Oh, I guess this is something to mention as well. I don't know where to insert it, but this whole office that Glenn and I have been decorating, that constituted a large part of my year. I'm excited to see how it turns out. I already have updates, but yeah, it's, you know, I have that fake job. I have a myriad of other things I'm translating. But I think that's just what works for me. Anyways, thank you for watching. That was 26, and I'll see you next year. Every year. I don't know why.